Hi, Mac fam. So, I wanted to talk a little bit about a day in my life. What I kind of do throughout the week, like a Monday through Friday, and um, on the weekends too. Yeah. So, I have gone to disability groups before. Um, a lot of times the ones that I've gone to they have group throughout the week, so they might be open like Monday through Friday or sometime throughout the week, and but then they're sometimes closed on the weekends, or they might have events on the weekends. It just depends on the group. Like, day programs, or disability groups, stuff like that. So yeah, so that's kind of what I've done, and right now, I'm trying. So I did find a disability group, and I think I had to fill out like some paperwork or some work for the group first. They have a virtual option, but they also have in person. Let me say, virtual options are so good and so important, especially for adults with disabilities and adults that just don't drive, or they don't have reliable transportation, or their family is older, or they're sick, or they're not well, and they just can't take, um, their child to a day program or a disability group. So virtual options are so, so important. They were definitely very important during the COVID lockdown pandemic, like when everybody was home. Like, virtual is such an important thing back when COVID happened, but also even now for people that just cannot drive. And I know it's not the same as like in person and face to face, but it's still so important because it still lets you have community and meet people online and stuff. And yeah, so it's so important as well. So trying to get involved with them, and then there's a wait list. So there's a wait list for their virtual group, and then there's a wait list a little bit to like get into their day program. Um, so that's okay. I've had some disability groups where there's a little bit of a wait list sometimes to get into a group, which is okay. Um, so yeah, so the goal is trying to get into that. And I also have been interested in Special Olympics. If you don't know what that is actually where you compete. It's for adults with disabilities. I think all ages, like kids, teenagers, adults, um, can play like sports. Like, I think there's like, it depends probably what they all have, but I think there's like swimming and maybe pickleball or tennis. I think there's some other ones. I just can't think of all of them right now. Uh, but you can actually compete. I think some even do like track, or like you can run. Like, there's a lot of different things you can do in Special Olympics. And so I've heard about them for a long time now, and I've always wanted to get involved. And now I live close to a Special Olympics. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like, that's so exciting. So I'm happy about that, and I hope I get in. But that's kind of in the past, and what my day to day kind of looks like Monday through Friday is like a disability group, um, in person or virtual. Um, and so that's usually what I do throughout the week. Sometimes I have doctor's appointments though, um, and stuff like that. So I'll also sometimes go to the doctor during the week. And on the weekends, Saturdays, Sundays, Saturdays, a lot of times me and my family we're home, but sometimes like they might go out run errands, or we might go out run errands. Like, it depends, but sometimes we're home on the weekends and sometimes we're not. It just depends on the weekend and what's going on. But usually on the weekends, we're home, and um, Sunday, go to church and stuff. So with the family, and come home and just kind of enjoy our Sunday afternoon. So our Sunday morning, we Sunday afternoon, I think, but yeah. So it's kind of my week, and I also have 3 dogs, and so, taking care of them, and also, having like virtual appointments. Like I have therapy, and I think I've talked a little bit about my therapist maybe on here a little bit, but she's virtual. But the office that she works at in my state, it's virtual. So they only see people online, like virtually. Um, and so I'll sometimes have like virtual appointments throughout the week or virtual therapy once a week. And sometimes like I see my psychiatrist virtually, so sometimes I have to see her. I have like virtual doctor's appointments that I have to do. So I have some virtual appointments sometimes, throughout the week, and stuff like that. So that also keeps me busy, and um, you know, yeah, and sometimes I'll do like some virtual groups for like some other groups that I'm a part of, and um, stuff like that. So that's kind of my week. I mean, I also do chores, and take care of the dogs, feed them, walk them, give them water, play with them, um, and do chores, do stuff around the house. So do laundry and do all that, like dishes, vacuuming, you know, taking care of the dogs, all taking out the trash, doing all the stuff. So, um, yeah, so that's kind of my a little bit day in the life. And usually Monday through Friday I get up early because I have to take care of the dogs and stuff, and sometimes too I get up and I have to go to disability groups, because sometimes I've been to some where you have to get there early and you're there for a lot of the day if it's a day program or disability group during the week or during the day. So um but it depends. I've heard of some that do it in the morning and you leave in the afternoon, and then there's some that it depends on the group. But I've been to like some that, or there was one in particular I went to that had like an evening group, um, or in the afternoon or evening, kinda. So it just kind of depends. But um, yeah, so um, yeah, but I get up, take care of my dogs, go to the disability groups or go to appointments, or just stay at home and um, chill out. I read, and I listen to music, and I, watch Netflix and watch stuff like that, and just kind of chill. And but I do also go out sometimes for appointments or day programs, disability groups, stuff like that. Virtual stuff that I have to do, virtual appointments I have to do throughout the week. So, but yeah, usually Monday through Friday I'm up early, and Saturdays I do get to sleep in. So, but it depends. Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. Um, but Monday through Friday I do get up early, 'cause the animals get up early and they have to go outside and be fed and stuff. So, yeah, yeah, just hang out, and um, yeah, so that's a little bit. And if I get home in the evening, and we have dinner, and I do dishes, and sometimes we'll kind of hang out, watch something as a family, or sometimes we'll just kind of go to our room, or just kind of go do our own thing in the evening. But yeah, in the evening, usually just kind of winding down, for bed and stuff, and sometimes take a shower. I do, and take a shower sometimes at night, or um something like that, and take my night meds, and just all of that, and just kind of try to settle down. Sometimes I read, I sometimes make videos like this. So it just kind of depends. But yeah, have dinner, do the dishes sometimes at night, or do them like the next day. But um yeah, and then just kind of, wind down, get ready for bed, read a book, do something that's not on my phone. Especially at night. I try to limit that, but it's hard sometimes. But yeah, so that's a little bit of my day in the life. as a disabled special needs adult. So, yeah. So, yeah. Alrighty, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe down below if you haven't already. Always keep your head up, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.